Hey, hi all, welcome to the channel. Today we will going to look into tuples and enums. These are two types actually my TypeScript provides us, and there are more. We will discuss one by one in upcoming videos. So in this video we will going to discuss tuples and enums. So first we will look into tuples. So what is meant by tuples, right? So tuple is actually a collection of varied types. Okay, so it is not necessary that tuples can have single typed values. It can have multiple typed values as well. Unlike arrays could store you know same type of values, and to achieve whatever array is not providing us, that is not storing multiple typed values. TypeScript actually provided us tuples, which is a collection of heterogeneous collection of values, and which includes multiple typed values, right? So let's see how we can create a tuple. So I am creating tuple. So this is a var tuple. So it has the same syntax of what we have in array, but there is a difference. So we can give a type annotation to it, right? The first, so the index wise, right? So the first element type we want as a string, right? So we can mention it as a string. The second element type, second element in the sense the element at the first position, we want the type of it as a number, then we can give it as a number. Then the other one is actually a boolean, right? So now to store values as well, we need to store the first value as a string. Let's say learn. Then the last value should also be string. So let's give a comma, then number 10, then a boolean value true, and then at last we can give lift as a string value. So this is nothing but a tuple. So what we did over here, right? So we have initialized a variable, right, with a type annotation, and then we have assigned some value of it. So we have assigned the values in the order, right? So the order we have given the types, right? We need to maintain the same order while giving the values as well. Okay, and if you miss the order, it will give you an error. So if you try to give a number value on the first place, it will give error that this number is not assignable to type string, right? So you need to give string over there only. So this is not permissible over here. Now we can access it using array like syntax, right? So console.log tuple of 0, right? And then console.log tuple of 0 1 2 3. Okay, right? So now let's transpile this file tscindex.ts, and let's run index.js file using node command. You can see there is a learn and lift has been printed, right? So if you open the index.js file, this is a simple array. It has been converted from TypeScript to JavaScript, and the array contains multiple the heterogeneous values, heterogeneous types values. Okay, so this is how this tuple works. Now we can add values in tuple dynamically as well. So tuple.push. So using push we can push the value. So it should be either string or number or boolean. So let's add a value of false, and now let me console log the tuple.length. right? And let me repeat the same two commands again. So now you can see that tuple length is 5. It has been increased. So here it is 4, and we have added false. Then the length has become 5, right? So this is how we can push or pop. We can do n number of things, like how we can do with arrays. Like we can loop through entries. We can use every method. We can use filter method, find method, find index. Anything we can use, concat within, right? So every method we can use as we were using with the array, right? So we have learned accessing values as well. And now what I need to do, I can destructure the values as well from an tuple. So how to destruct the values? So for destructuring values, I need to create a variable where, and this should be a type of array. So how you are going to destruct values from the array? Same thing you can do over here. So let me give a placeholder over here for first value and second value, and then I can directly write tuple. And if I console log A and B, you can see the first and second value has been printed. Console log B as well, right? So now let me clear the console. Again, repeat the commands, right? So you can see I have accessed learn and 10, the first value and the second value, right? The learn and 10. So this is how you can destructure the tuple as well. Now we can pass tuple as an parameter to the functions. Okay, so how we can do that? So let me write down a function name display, something like this, and what it will do, it will display whatever values coming into the tuple. Okay, so let me give a param which should be of this type, right? So let me give this type as well. So now we have a param with this tuple type, and we have the same tuple type over here, and I will console log using backtick welcome to the channel, and then curly bracket. I told you already how to access. You can access is based on indexes, and then again param. Okay, let me do it this way. Param 0, 1, 2 and 3. So I can access the third element as well over here. So now I need to call a display. So display method, I will pass the tuple as it is, right? So now again I will transpile it and run the node.js. Using node command, I will run index.js, and you can see the output. Welcome to the channel LearnLift, right? So this is how we can pass tuples as a function parameter as well. So now as you learn tuples, I am assuming that you have understood it very neatly. Now look into the enums as well. So enums are actually a way of defining constants. Okay, we could have constant variables defined somewhere in our application, and which are getting exported, and we could include those we could import those anywhere as per our need. The same thing we can do with the enums as well. You can just create a enum with some constant values, and we can import that enum somewhere wherever is needed. So there are three types of enums we can define. Default numeric enum, okay, then we have a numeric enum, string enum and heterogeneous enum. So let's see how we can define a default enum, right? So enum, default enum, right? So this could be we will give the names learn and then lift, And if I try to access this, right, so console.log default enum.learn and default enum.lift, right, it will give us the index of this particular key and this particular key. Okay, so now let me clear and transpile this again, and let me run the index.js file. You can see it gives the index of learn and then lift. The first index is actually for lift and the 0th index is for learn. So this is nothing but a default enum. Let's create a enum with numerical values, right? So numeric enum we can create. So what I'll do, I'll create a enum like 1 is equal to 1, right? 2 is equal to 2, 3 equals to 3, right? So this is nothing but a numeric enum. So now if you try to access these values, let me comment this out, and these things as well. Okay, so now if you use these values, numeric values dot 1, right, then we have 2, and let me transpile this file again using TypeScript compiler, and then you can see 1 and 2 has been printed. So now it has printed the values, right, the numeric values. This was default. It actually returns us the indexes, but if we assign values to them like numeric values, string values, or heterogeneous means the mix of string and numerics, right, it will print those only. So let's transform this into the string. Let me type in into string, and same I will transpile it again, and I will run. You can see the values has been converted to strings, right? And this is nothing but a heterogeneous enum as well, as we have multiple types. Multiple types in the sense the string one and the numeric one, right? We can create only string enum as well. So let me console log the value of 3, right? CLS, I will transpile this, and then again I will run that file. So you can see 1, 2 and 3 has been printed. You can have a string enum, you can have a numeric enum, you can have heterogeneous. It should include numeric as well as string also. But in real time we used to define enums by the type itself. In real time we are not going to mix the different types. In real time actually I used to create enums based on the types only. Okay, so separate integer enum, numeric enum, and a separate string enum only. So where we can use the enums, right? What is the use case of it? Now if you look at the API calls, right, let's say we have an enum of HTTP requests uh, statuses. So let's say I'll console log these logs as well, comment out. So it has been commented. Now I will create an enum of HTTP request status codes. Okay, and over here what I can do, success is equal to 200, right? Then not found is equal to, I can give string not found, right? And then for error case, I can give 400, right? So now suppose we have created this kind of enum and we needed to use it, right? So we are exporting it from somewhere and we are importing it in this file. Suppose, let's say, now we have imported this in this file, so we can use this in a conditions. Okay, now we have made a request to the server and we have got the response, but we don't know what kind of response we have got. So what we can do, we can directly check if the status code, right, triple equals to http request status code dot success, like this, right? So in this case we don't need to compare status code with this static 200. Instead of this we can use http status code dot success. So it will compare the status code value, which is numeric value, with this numeric value, right? So this enum key value is actually 200 only. So this is how, and again, like for not found as well, we can keep the string at one place and we can use this key everywhere, so that this key also at the time of comparison, the value of this key is actually not found only. It can happen that if we are for example status text, right? So if we are comparing the status text as a not found, right, something like this, so what will happen, sometimes I can accidentally make some typos like this found, and in that case this condition will never satisfy itself, right? So better to keep this kind of strings where we can make some typos into an enum, right? So this is nothing but a uh, constant type only, right? So better to keep this text somewhere in an enum and compare this with the enum key only, right? You can see not found, like this. Here we cannot allow to type, right? So we can directly select the key only. So that's the reason the typo mistakes will not happen over here in the condition checks, and this condition every time will satisfy itself, right? And we will get the desired results. So this is how one way of using the enums. So there are other multiple ways as well where we can use enums, like to check the types. So if you are working with React or Angular RxJS, so there you might need to check the action types as well. In the React we have states concept, right? So in the state we have actions, so we have action types. So the action types, actually we use enums only over there with the key and values, and we use to check the what kind of action each user has been performed with the keys only, not with the actual values, right? So there is a scope where actually we can use the enums. So this is how enums are, and tuples you can use. And let me show you how TypeScript compiles a particular tuple, right, in a JS file. So let's see. Actually, I have showed you the tuples. Let's see the enum. TypeScript, I have transcompiled it and then I have run. You can see this is how a tuple has been created for us in the JavaScript file, right? So this is huge, right? And writing this much code actually gives us a lot headache. Uh, just because this is having few properties. Let's say we have almost 40 to 50 properties with it. then how it could be difficult for us to write, this much JavaScript code, right? So because of that, we can take help from TypeScript, and we can, write our code in the TypeScript only, so that it can, once we build the application, it will generate this JavaScript for us, but we are not concerned about this JavaScript. Okay, so we are concerned about this TypeScript code only. Correct. So we are dealing with the TypeScript code only, and whatever it generates, and it is, understandable by the browser itself. So it will run in the browser, no doubts in that, right? So because, TypeScript at the end is JavaScript only, so it actually creates an outer layer for us to write a code in easy way, but at the end it converts, transpiles all our code, all our TS files into individual JS files only. Okay, so that is how enum works, and we have seen the tuples as well. So I hope you like this video, and if you are watching, till the end, then I appreciate it. And if you like the video, hit like and share the video, and do not forget to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you never miss the new updates. Thank you all guys. Let's meet in next video.